All right, Siam. Now that we have heard how you landed your first tech jobs, first software engineering job coming from an electrical engineering background, and you've landed a decent package also compared to your previous job. We would like to know how was it like from starting from junior to mid senior to all the way very was it you became a manager or
I became an assistant vice president.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to hear all these career progression in your tech career, if you could share with us.
Sure. So yeah, this was what 2013 April. I started in this farmers insurance company, and the first job was really a lot of fun. Actually, we were driving on the roads of LA with my Mac, which is a more highly powered Mac given from the company, and with my iOS app, because we were real-time location tracking and testing the app. So it was not just a development job; it was also a roaming around LA job. So a lot of fun, really cool job.
Indeed.
But I was doing this thing through a kind of like a consulting or a staffing company. So in US there are all these corp to corp companies. I didn't know all these terms. There are consulting companies, vendors, clients. I didn't know any of these terms, but obviously because I started doing this job because it wasn't directly with farmers insurance, it was through this staffing company. It's called Tech Systems. It's actually pretty big. Actually not directly with Tech Systems. Under Tech Systems there was another Indian staffing company. Yeah, I'll not reveal the name just for the privacy of the company. Anyway, so I was doing the job, and first thing I I think I was in this LA job for 1 year, not 1 year actually, 10 months, and this was basically one of my most favorite experiences because I love LA, and then I was really enjoying the iOS development world. So amazing to be able to work with Xcode. So I was having so much fun in the first job because Xcode is such an amazing ecosystem to work with. It was based in LA. I was driving around, and honestly I had the best time working with the team in that company. It was with collaboration with Toyota. Like, it was just such a cool first project, to be honest. Like, I didn't feel that I was too far from like engineering also, because there was a software, but also there is this
engineering process.
Yeah, there are a lot of data which were also like coming from different mechanic, like driving speed. These are physics. Yeah. So not only just a software development work. And again, like a big fan of Xcode and development, the entire Apple ecosystem. I became like not a Apple snob, but like I love the Apple ecosystem development wise. I think almost 10 months later, basically that contract ended, and this was all contractual roles. So that is the first time when I actually got exposed that, like, these are contractual roles. This is not a full-time thing, like not permanent or stable. And that was like, oh shoot, I was thinking I was kind of enjoying and happy, but it's actually, I'm in OPT extension and I cannot be unemployed for too many days. And especially when I can transfer to H1B, I cannot be unemployed for more than 60 days, which is insane, that you have to find a job within 2 months, which is insane. I realized that, okay, it's better for me to actually find a better job. So when the project ended, I started looking for a job. I had by that 10 months of contractual job, I was able to pay off all the debts. My credit score got better. Everything was more stable, because before that I was so bad that even when I was applying for more credit cards, all the companies were rejecting me. Because I was like, okay, you are not credit worthy anymore. But anyway, so all these things were healing. The financial health was healing properly, and I paid off. I mean, I'm just talking about credit card debts. I also had like real friends debt. I think more like 10,000 also cash debt from friends. So I paid off all these things. After this 10 month, I actually landed a job also through the same vendor, through the same consulting company, but another project. This was in Baltimore, Maryland, which is in a completely different side of the world, opposite side from Pacific to Atlantic. And this was in a financial investment or like financial institution called Rowe Price. They handle people's mutual funds, 401ks, things like that. So when I landed a job, I had zero idea about what are these terms. But anyway, I moved to Baltimore. The only thing I knew about Baltimore is through a show called The Wire. I don't know if you have seen it. It's a very fun, like a, like entourage kind of show. But anyway, I didn't have a good view about how Baltimore is, but obviously it changed after I traveled. It has a lot of crime. Baltimore has in general a lot of big crime rates. Anyway, I started the job, and so on the learning side, it was pretty smooth. I was working with a lot of different teams from different countries. It was a larger team. There are also a lot of we went through a lot of agile meetings with outside of the office. Like this was a more wholesome learning experience, I would say, in terms of technology learning. So, I mean, I don't want to go deep into Objective-C, but different sides, like also Scrum, like I learned a little bit more like management style things also, like process things, not only coding in this job. But in the meantime, my OPT extension was running out eventually, and I was in my last time of my OPT extension. Remember that I lost my first 1 year in OPT, so I didn't get to apply for my H1B. The second year I could have applied for my H1B, but consulting company, they were obviously not the most favorable situation for me. Did not apply for the H1B. They said, no, Siam, no, it's okay, Siam, we'll apply next year. It's okay, man. So I was there. Basically, as I said, this H1B and all these visas are basically modern day slavery visa. As long you are there, the better for the companies, because they can give you lower rates, blah, 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 all these things. So I started with 60K, it became 70K, like I think in 14, like after 1 year after I changed the project. But still not that big of a jump, because these consulting companies were taking a big percentage of the actual payment from the actual client company. And because it's multi-layered, Rowe Price was paying tech systems was paying consulting, everyone was taking a cut. I got a small cut. So anyway, immigration wise, with this consulting company, I finally was like, dude, like this is my last year in OPT extension. If you're not applying for my H1B, I cannot work. So finally of course they will be convinced, because I am an asset back then, because they are also making money through me.
Through you, yeah.
It's not like they're doing anything for charity here. So they applied for my H1B. I forgot, it was 2014 or 15, I guess, I forgot. Applied for my H1B, lottery got picked, everything, all good. Applied for the actual H1B, and then I got RFE. RFE is request for evidence. Okay. This is a traumatic thing, because...
Is this a standard process, or it's...
No. It's like you apply for the H1B and then you get approved if you are doing it from a legitimate and proper company. Yeah. But this is a consulting company, and then their paperwork were shady.
Yeah.
The USCIS gave me RFE, and the moment I got the RFE, for the next 2 or 3 months, I couldn't sleep properly, because it's so stressful. It can be denied. And the reason they said that, is that, and the lawyer they are working with, they were such a bad lawyer, meaning the lawyer responses were like 1 week later, 2 weeks later, like no response, basically. And I was waiting. And the lawyers, whenever they filled up the form, man, they had spelling errors in the form. I was like, are you like fucking nuts? Sorry for the French in the videos. Like, you are taking like thousands of dollars, which you are cutting from my salary. Not that you are paying for my H1B also. I am paying, you are cutting it from my salary, which is actually technically not legal, but obviously I am in a crisis here. And the lawyers are making spelling mistake in a form. Let me fill up the form, man. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting agitated here. And taking like 8,000 or something, like a huge amount. Obviously you have to do spelling error here. And then I'm like, okay, of course you will do RFE, because you didn't give anything. You did not do any proper work to not get the request for ADC. So I lost the faith on these lawyers as well. So I started digging out the internet and trying to be my own lawyer, basically, because I couldn't pay for a lawyer myself, payment wise. So I went through Quora, blah blah blah, forums, and blah, all the websites. And then basically in this process, I was in the RFE. You have to give the RFE response. That why is it good, and now given the proper paperwork. So what was missing is that when you are working corp to corp, you have to give your direct hiring letter, which was given, a MOU with the this contract consulting company with the actual client company, and a client to me direct offer letter that, hey, I want to hire this as a contractor. These 3 letters must be given. And they knew it, but they didn't give the client letter. So, but then like, oh, Siam, can you ask your manager in Rowe Price to give us, like, I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing there? I am doing basically all the work. So I had to convince my manager. Honestly, my manager in Rowe Price, she is again,
another angel in your
godsend.
Yeah.
All these godsend moms I have in my life. Her name is Sian. She is a senior person, also the same name as me, Sian. We had an internal joke about it, like, how did I work under a manager named Sian, and I'm Siam. Anyway, she was very helpful towards me, and she gave me this client letter, and then we submitted it, and I was also pretty involved in the RSC response process, and then we submitted it, and luckily the H1B got approved. So big relief, man. Like, H1B was very stressful. I mean, I think everyone who is in H1B can relate. This is like bullshit. And then basically this consulting company, I started having like, hey, like, I got the H1B, like, can you apply green card for me? And basically what I realized that every person who has gone through H1B through this consulting company, H1B has a 3 years first run period, and then you can extend it, you can get 3 more years. So you have 6 years. No one in the alumni, no one got applied for green card before the 5 years. They will juice you completely out, and then after you have no juice left, they will apply for your green card, because they want to misuse you as much as possible, because they know that once you get the green card, you will probably leave, because it's abuse. How long can you stand this? Financial abuse, I mean. So luckily, in the meantime, my manager's relationship, and in Rowe Price, I became the de facto iOS guy in the, not only in my team, but also in the other teams. And I was treated the most premium. I had a separate type of desk, Mac ecosystem, really a very premium booth. You know, like, everyone's desk is there, Windows are like very low key, and I have the fanciest booth suddenly. So outside booth, not like a room booth, like in the like common space, but a Mac booth. All these experiences, all these learnings I had. I used to make movies, I used to love making videos, I was doing online videos. I don't know how it all started coming into the thing. So I started saying, whenever I went to these common meetings, I was saying that, hey, do you guys need any help? We can make them videos. I started building like a video library, because there was no documentation. So I started building like a in-company video library for technical documentation. And this was completely as a voluntary. My manager didn't say anything to me. I'm like, yeah, Siam, if you want to do it, why not, if you like it. But what started happening is that all the other organizations started noticing me, because like, oh, Siam is building a video library, and I went to them, oh, what tools did you use? I'm like, oh, these are the tools, I can teach you how to make videos. So because of these videos, my footprint was getting inside the organization automatically, and I was a developer also, but this was, I would say, like the transitioning to a manager role, I would say, here slowly, because of this trying to help the other people. And I think through my hand, I hired at least 4 people in the iOS development role. I basically just did interviews, like a lot of my friends and good people. They are all many of them are in Rowe Price right now.
They were deserving the position.
They were deserving the position, but I was the interviewer, and I did the internal referral. Like, I could at least pass through the application process. They came to the interview. Of course, there are other people, but I did the internal referral, which is common and fair and valid.
Cool.
Valid, nothing, no nepotism or anything here. Yeah, so that's how I was basically getting into a more, getting more visibility in the career side and in more managerial roles. And my manager actually said that, hey, Siam, like, you're doing so well, why don't you work with us directly instead of going to corp to corp?
Okay, so you were still working like as a consultant?
Consultant, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, Siam, you're making so much of things, like, why don't you? But I'm like, no, I think there is some non-compete or something. She said that we'll deal with that, like, no worries. I think this was in end of 2015, beginning of 2016, when I basically got an offer. My salary was 120K. Before that, in this consulting, final after everything, it was, I think, 80K. So from 80K, I had a 120K jump instantly, because I switched to the
almost 50%
raise. And also the thing is that when I talked with my manager, I kind of discussed with her that, hey, the reason I'm coming direct is that I need to be applied my green card immediately, no waiting period. And my manager was very helpful. Rowe Price has not done green card like in that all department kind of way that back then, but my manager helped me really a lot with my green card process. And honestly, with the green card with Rowe Price, it was so smooth. I saw they hired the best lawyer firm, premium lawyer firm, like 20,000 fee, and like so professional behavior, perfect process, perfect and from the application of my green card and getting my green card, it took 10 months only.
Wow,
it takes
so
usually
quick.
2 years.
Yeah.
So quick, smoothest. And Rowe Price is a large organization, so it was kind of easy. In the meantime, I was kind of like enjoying this side, but the thing is that I was also running this, if you remember, this higher study abroad Facebook group.
Yeah, you know.
And I was trying to like kind of like make it work into some kind of entrepreneurship, like how to make money out of it. But honestly, what I realized is that it is very difficult to run a side hustle, because software jobs, solving problems, crushing bugs, like it does take a lot of your energy. No matter how work-life balance it is or something, it does like takes your energy, and it's very difficult to go home and build a completely like starting a whole new company on your own. It's possible to join a team, but starting something completely is very difficult. So I tried some ideas and I didn't know much of entrepreneurship. But I realized one thing is that I cannot actually do actual thing as a side hustle, like actual startup I cannot do as a side hustle. So I started making money, like saving money. And by that time, I think by 2016, my salary and bonus together, all combined, it got more raise. I think finally it was like 140K, which is a considerable amount of money for Baltimore that time. And then two things were happening. Number one is that I am coming from an engineering background, as you know, engineering, software, technical background. I had zero idea about finances. But because I was working in a financial investment company, I understood all these financial vehicles, like, oh, money is a vehicle, what is an asset, what is debt, what is equity. I know these things obviously very well now. What is 401k, what is mutual fund, what are exchange traded funds. I didn't know anything about any finance. These are all jargons. So I started trading in the stock market because I am also related to the job, and I basically built the whole Rowe Price iOS and later the Android app. So I am seeing all this data, all the track. So I know the things. So I thought, okay, why not learn the business logic of it, business side of it. So I really got interested into investing and into, just overall investing and money and how money operates, all these things. So that was really building up my financial or money muscle, which was completely missing from my lens because it's never trained in that way in engineering. And on the other side, because you remember that I had a very terrible budgeting behavior in my New York journey, minus 18,000 debt, so much negative, is because of a bad budgeting, bad money management skill, which is honestly not trained in the school. So
especially in Bangladesh,
it's missing. Yeah. So one of the things which I decided after I actually got the job, that I will be very savvy financially and budget wise. So I started following all these kind of like online gurus and online videos of like how to manage money and budget. And I had a challenge that I will compete, like as much of the money Citibank has taken from me and Capital One has taken from me, my revenge will be that I will make more money from them. And I became like a credit card. I had so many credit card hacks. We cannot go with this topic today, but I became a credit card hacker. Like with credit cards, you get credit card points, and with that points, you can buy flight tickets. I actually had my whole Hawaii trip completely through points. Going to Hawaii, renting for a month, everything was done through Citibank's credit card point. And there is like this spending and like a lot of, this is a whole different league of credit card hacking, credit card mileage point hacking. Anyway, I became very budget savvy also because of all these things. So I started building my own financial runway, and my goal was to be able to at least save. So I was thinking like, okay, what is my monthly expense? I would say like my monthly expense and everything combined, I thought that my annual runway was 20,000, like annual expense runway was 20,000. It's not a luxurious living, but it's somewhat living, food and everything combined. That's my expense budget I was doing. And my goal was that I will exit my job full time when I have a 10 years runway. So I was basically for the last 3 years in my Rowe Price 2016, 17, and partially actually 18. I was saving $50,000 per annum. So I was basically just I have 140K job, and then I was driving still like a very old car, $5,000 car. All my colleagues were driving Audis and everything, and all in the parking lot, and I never went to the parking lot with them. I was like, okay, no, you go first and I will go later. So I was really being cheap because I was like, okay, I have to compromise something. I cannot eat everything in life. So let me compromise on here so that I can become actually a full-blown entrepreneur and test out full-scale entrepreneurship. I did cut on a lot of these things. I was doing budget traveling and stuff like this free Hawaii trip. I was doing all the no money way or low money way of doing things. In 2017, I got my green card. That was one of my best, most relaxing day of my life, because green card you can actually leave the job, but it's recommended that you stay at least 1 more year, so that it's kind of nice to the employer that you are not getting and immediately quitting, and it makes a good fair relationship with the employer. So just 1 year finished, February 2018. I had 200K in stock investments, which is obviously in a different financial condition. And my thesis was that, okay, if I have a 10-year runway, I will eat and sleep, I'll be a very low maintenance because I know how to live in a very cheap way. If I'm not able to make a company startup in 10 years, startup is not for me. Like even if I'm the dumbest person in the room, I should be able to make it. And I heard this quote somewhere that if you want to, if startup is all about rolling the dice game, if you have the energy to roll the dice as many times as you want, you will eventually win it. It's a dice game, it's a numbers game. Yeah, that's basically the time. February 2018, I informed my manager, actually from Siam it changed to Mike, another guy, that hey Mike, I'm actually leaving the job. And I was like, Siam, you have one of the best jobs because you don't do any work. Actually, the last year, 2017, I think I was working 4 to 5 hours a day. 4 to 5 hours a week.
Wow.
Because I was such senior role and I knew the entire architecture, I was almost unfireable. Unless I steal something from there, they won't be able to fire me because I know the entire architecture and everything. Everything is dependent. All the junior developers are under me. So I became an assistant vice president. When I got the 2017 February, I got the green card. I got also promoted to assistant vice president in the technology department. I was handling their mobile and iOS apps and all this. But I left the company because it was getting very stagnant, and I was thinking that I went to that same phase again, that I'm feeling like this career stagnation again. Time to take the jump again. So I said that, hey Mike, I know that it's not the most common decision, but if in my previous jumps I was more doubtful, here I had no doubt, because I know that
You've done it quite a few times.
I have done 2 big times. I'm like, I know that I will fall down completely, and then whenever I fall down, when I rise, it will be 10 times higher than my previous fall. So in February 2018, I left my job with 200K, which is a good amount of saving in my bucket. And yeah, that's like my Rowe Price career ending, or the full-time job ending.
Yeah, your full tech career ending. So thank you so much, Siam, for sharing your story. I can see this phase of your life is all about going up in the ladder and shining and learning lots of crucial aspects of preparation for moving into entrepreneurial journey. First of all, you are very cautious about future-proofing your career. I mean, you just started your first junior position, but already back then you were thinking about how to make your career future-proof. And then the most important thing is you sorted out your immigration stuff. I can imagine, this is like the 60% of the struggle we have as an immigrant or expatriate. So you got that sorted out. And another important thing is also that you learn how to manage your personal finance. That's a very vital skills to have or build at that later phase of life. We can see that with all these skills you are moving towards, like you are in a much better situation to start your entrepreneur journey at a full swing. We are looking forward to hear that part of the story in the next and final episode. Thank you for sharing all these stories, and until then, take care.
Yeah, thank you, Derek.